Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, carrying on with our little series of rehouses and care videos. Today we're going to do the Chilobrachys species dyscolus blue, which is commonly known as the Vietnam blue, also known as the Vietnam smoky. They have a few different names actually, these guys. They're a very, very interesting spider, and they're what I would class as some class them as a fossorial. I would class them as a semi-fossorial spider. Now, this was one that came in with a group of spiders we had earlier on, or sort of late last year, and she went into this one here purely as a temporary enclosure because I managed to break the one that she was supposed to be going in. So she's gone into this one, and as you can see, she's absolutely webbed the hell out of it. And so we're now going to set her up with a new one. And looking at that, I'm starting to think to myself, well, we're going to make a lovely enclosure. We're probably going to lose it in a matter of weeks. It's all going to be buried. But hey ho, we'll give it a try and we'll see what happens. What we're going to do, we'll move these bits. We've got all our stuff ready. And we're going to go back in with one of our 30 cubes. And we're going to do it as a bioactive. So you've seen now what we do with these. We don't need a huge amount. Now don't forget, we've got our little drainage system here. So we plonk that in the corner. We've got our matting, which I had previously cut to fit. As you see, it's a lovely neat job. Don't forget, just as always, you don't have to be overly particular now, you know, don't get too fussy with it. That's good enough like that. Now then, we're going to top this up. We're going to put a reasonable amount of substrate in here, because although this girl has had opportunity to burrow down, as have other Chilobrachys that we've got, and they don't really tend to bother, which makes a little bit of a mockery of the whole fossorial situation, which makes me think even more so that these are a semi-fossorial spider and not a pure fossorial spider. I'm just going to whop a bit of this in here. Now these guys do like a high humidity, so we're looking at 70–80% humidity. As you can imagine, as the name suggests, they come from Vietnam, Malaysia, and typically South Vietnam is where they're found an awful lot of. We're going to mix some of our beastie soil in with this as well, just to give it some substance. There we go. We'll mix that up a little bit. And as you can see, there's that really gives it some texture now. Right then. We're going to start making it up. Now I want to put a plant in here as well. So we're going to use one of our cork tubes again. I think that'll be fine like so. I'm going to put some compost down in there. That. There we go. Now what I want to try and do here is I want to try and achieve I've looked at this piece of wood and I'd like her to actually set a burrow in here. So this is what we're going to attempt to get her to do. And you might sort of think to yourself, well, how on earth is he going to get her to do that? Well, the truth is we don't really know. We're just in the lap of the gods, and hopefully we can get her to do that. I think what we're going to have to do here is take that down a bit deeper, quite a bit deeper. Make sure we can get our lid shut. That's better. That's better. Now then, I've actually, you can use that. Let me just double check the lid's going to close. That's it, that's good. Right then, we've got that there. Now I've actually got a piece of bark here that I've cut because I want to fill this void in here. Like so. So what we're going to do is we had a big gap behind here. So we're going to fill that in. Now with my trusty hot glue gun, I'm going to glue this in place. Not like that, he says. Oh, that is hot as well. Alright. Try not to touch it again. Stick a bit of glue in there. A bit there. And what we can do is to make that go off real quick, just give it a little spray. And that will now be hard. So in theory, there you go, that's locked into place now. That means we can play around with it, and that should hopefully stay there. All being well, fingers crossed. Now then, I've chosen this ivy here, so we're going to go with this because she is going to literally web everything up. So I'm hoping that this ivy will be strong enough to sustain that. So we'll pop him in there like so. Not like that. Get a bit more of this. What we're doing now is we're just literally sealing off everywhere. There we go. Now this girl I've noticed before spends quite a bit of time out mooching about, so I thought what we'll try and do is give her a little bit extra room, and this isn't going to fit, is it? Damn. Oh, maybe that way. Okay. go. Hopefully once the ivy becomes established, it will move around and do its stuff. Create a bit of a thing there. Put a little bit more soil in. Right. How's that looking? It's taking a bit of shape. You can get a little bit in there. Oh, you messy pup. There we go. There we go. Put down the head. Now then, we've got some moss. It's going to be really interesting to see how much of this is actually going to be visible once she sets up home. What I'm going to do is put, hopefully by having the moss like this, we're going to try and encourage her to go down inside. That's the plan. There. This is the beauty of the moss. We can literally just carve it up to how we want it. Now this will all help in keeping the moisture in. You'll also find the ivy will tuck down into this as well. There we go, we're getting there now. I think. See if we can, we'll do this in two pieces, I think. I don't think that looks too terrible. That looks quite cool. Right, we just need a water dish. Right then, first things first, let's clean our glass. We're ready to go. There we go. Now then, Right, I think we're there. Okay. Now then, as a lot of you will be aware, the Chilobrachys family are notoriously fast, and they're very keen to defend themselves. They're an old world species, and they really do need to be treated with some respect. But if we're nice and gentle, I'm hoping we can get her out without too much trouble. Here she comes. What we want to do is try not to spook her too much. We just want to uncover some of this webbing. She knows something's going on. Here we go. As you can see now, she's not showing aggression, but she's actually coming out to the paintbrush. As you can see there, she's an absolutely beautiful spider. You can see where they get their name, the brown smoky. Now with these guys, this is an adult female, and they stay this sort of chocolate brown colour right the way through up until they start, as just before they're going to molt. So just pre-molt, these guys will actually turn a bluey black colour. And you can see some of the blue in her legs, what have you there. I don't know if we can get a bit of light on her, maybe. Can you see the blue? You can see that colouring in her legs. It's absolutely gorgeous. These are a fantastic spider. And again, now you can also see with her abdomen, this is the sort of size abdomen we're looking at. This girl here has molted out about a month ago. So she is ready to be paired up now. So if anyone's got a male, drop me a message. We'd definitely like to pair this one up. Right then, we'll have a good look. Let's see if we can get her in the box. Now these girls move very, very quick. So what we want to do is we want to try and block her entrance going forward so she can't go up the glass. And she's tucked her way back, so that's okay. We get her to go backwards now, hopefully. We don't want no aggression now, come on. That's my paintbrush, not yours. What we're going to do, we can let her play with the paintbrush. She knows that box, look at that. What I'm going to do is going to get her to come out gently. There we go. See that quick turn of speed? And she's there. Now you'll also see with her that you don't always see with other spiders. They'll feel for a gap underneath the box. This is not an ideal situation here. We can do it nice and gentle. Big gap at the back there, David. And she's in. There we go. I'll turn her over. Which way? Right, gorgeous spider. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to pop her there and get rid of this tank. Horrible tank this is, we don't like it at all. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try and get her in here so we can get a nice view of her. Now, be ready just in case she decides to launch herself straight out. What we want to do is go down the bottom of the box. There we go. There we go, nice and gentle. Come on, it's time to leave. Nice view. Oh well, straight in a hole. And she's gone. Well, that didn't quite work out as planned, did it? I was rather hoping that she'd sit out on the front here and we'd get a nice look at her with a nice background. Okay, right then. We will just have to keep an eye on this and hopefully we'll get some shots of her out and about a bit later on. Now, with general care of these guys, as we've said before, and as you saw there, they can be very, very quick and they can be rather defensive. But as we've shown there, if you take your time and just move real nice and gently, slowly, you can avoid all of that aggression. And these guys are renowned for being quite an aggressive spider. So, you know, treat them kindly and you'll see a different response. We saw there when she came out, she literally just walked out nice and gently, disappeared down her hole. That's fine, that's okay. That's pretty much what we want to do. We don't want all the fun and games and all the fighting. So humidity wise, we want to keep these guys around about 70 to 80%, hence the bioactive system. This will help us to keep this, and with the moss and the plants, it'll all roll in and help maintain that humidity. Now food wise, these guys are eating, she will take on adult roaches, but you don't want to be feeding them too much. This is another thing. A lot of fossorial spiders and semi-fossorial spiders, they're not seen generally because they're overfed. So you never actually get to see them. So if you start feeding them a little bit more responsibly and waiting for them to come up, tell you when they're hungry, then give them a couple of days, then feed them, you'll start to see more of your spider, which is what it's all about. This is what we want to do. So you want to keep them on that nice even kill where they're not starving, but they're out and about a little bit more and they're starting to hunt, and you'll see them sitting in the entrance to their burrows waiting for food to come by. And you can actually get to enjoy them. Now, temperature wise, we're running these at the mid 70s to the mid 80s. You don't really want to go any hotter than that. Although they come from Vietnam through into India and that, it is very, very hot. But where these guys are, it's not so hot. And hence this is another reason why they burrow down, is to avoid some of this massive heat. So if you've not got a great amount of heat, there is no reason for them to be burrowing down so much. So another thing to sort of bear in mind, and just treat them with some respect. These guys, they're not for beginners. So if you're reasonably stable and don't get too excited when they move fast, give one a try. Perhaps try with a small one and work your way up. Let it grow with you. All right then, well I hope you enjoyed that. Just another one in our series of care and rehouses. We have many, many more coming through. So we're revamping an awful lot of enclosures. So this is just one of them. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spiders. And I'll see you soon.